How did you become involved in American Gladiators, the first 1989 season of it?
Gladiators was a fun thing. Joe Weider called me up after I was doing the magazines, and he says, "I need you in California." And I'm like, "Done, done. California, here we come." And so I head down to California, and then there was a slip on the front desk of Gold's Gym Venice saying, "Hey, Gladiator tryouts." And so it was down at the Coliseum, and I went down there, and we had a good couple-day battle. And it was, I think it was 1,500 guys. And by Sunday, it was down to me and one other guy, me and Red, who played Saber on TV. He was a cornerback for the Redskins, and we banged each other up, man, that Sunday and knocked each other silly. But I basically competed against that many other guys and kicked some serious ass.
Was the pay pretty good for that?
It's TV. TV money is good money. TV money, I don't care what anybody says, is great money. And we're still getting residuals from it. So yeah, TV money, no matter what it is. It was the soap operas I did. I did Death Becomes Her and still get paid for that. Movies from back in the 90s that I did. There's nothing like TV money. So, and it keeps going even though you're not actually doing the show anymore. So that's a nice plus.
There's a fan wondering if you dated any of the female gladiators.
No, I didn't. No, we'll leave it at that.
Were you friends with Malibu from the original Gladiators? I believe he was part of the ESPN show as well.
I am great friends with him today, in today's time. Back then, I came on the show right after he was off the show, so I didn't get a lot of chance. And then so always two separation. He's friends with my friends and stuff, and I never really got to get to know him in my young 20s or 30s, but I got to know him now, and it's incredible. And I love who he is as a person, man. He's just a solid cat, man. Solid cat.
What wrestlers do you think would have made good American Gladiators?
Ooh, Scotty Steiner, Rick Steiner, Sean O'Hara. There's a few. You know, one thing that I think gets pushed under, you guys, all you wrestling fans know this, but society doesn't know this. They go, "Hey, it's fake. You know, it's fake. It's just going out there and they're acting." Those guys are great athletes. They're great athletes. And mostly back in the day when I went to WCW or when I was first over at WWE, those guys are the biggest monsters and athletic monsters that you can meet. A lot of Division I players out of college when I went to WCW. And yeah, there's so many of those guys could have been great gladiators. And again, Gladiators was somebody could work the microphone and kick some ass. And so all those guys, you guys know they can work a microphone. But yeah, most of those guys could have been great gladiators. Great gladiators. And vice versa. I think everybody that was gladiators could have done great in wrestling. So yeah, it would cross over easily.
How were Mike Adamle and Larry Konska, the American Gladiators commentators, which I might be pronouncing wrong?
They were great, man. You went old school, man. You went old school there. Great guys. Great guys. Gladiators had some. The cast from the first one and everything. I prefer those guys because they really taught me a lot. From the cast to the way the crew ran, everything about that. There was so much I learned from those people, and I think I've always been one of those people, because I grew up with dyslexia, is that I've always paid attention, 100% paid attention, because I couldn't read it, couldn't write it, so I had to pay attention. And I think just learning people's traits and how they were on the first Gladiators, from the host to the cameramen to the gladiators themselves, great crew, great people.
Clay would like to know if you have any memories of Ray.
Ray and Tanya.
Yeah, Tanya.
I talk to both still, Tanya a lot. Both great individuals. Zap, that's Ray Hall. You know, the cool thing about Ray was, man, she was like one of the first girls I ever knew that benched 315, and she was beautiful. And then Tanya obviously was one of the biggest bodybuilders at that era, and she was like the pretty blonde of the early 90s, late 80s, 90s, and still beautiful mother today. Both great people.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.